today is going to be the wind. Sheep need and like some roughage in their hay.
So these are all products from our area in this heat, so around Droogh.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lynn, and welcome to another day at Utopia Farms. Today's the big tour day, so we're a little bit nervous. So we're going to rush through chores this morning because 57 people should be here by about 1 o'clock today. Stay with Hilton here, patiently waiting for this bale of hay to come in. They're really happy to be on the second cut now, because believe me, the sheep can tell the difference. They just love the second cut hay. Ah, Hilton, are you wanting to get in there now? Those girls. Here we've got the wild woman of the group. Oh, actually, it's not you, it's you. Tammy. You look just like Tammy. Are you Tammy's mom? Because you look just like her. You do. Oh my goodness. I find once the ewes all are pregnant, they go into their mellow stage. That's when they're really enjoying the back rubs and the chin scratches. Do you like that? Are you a little bit pregnant? Not a little bit. Hi. Your food's coming now. Hi, you look lovely too. Do you want to say hello? Yes, you're pretty.
You know, Fame, is this better than the second cut?
Oh, this is first cut?
Yeah.
Oh, I was telling everyone it's second cut.
No, these barns are still, but I favor this more than the second cut. I think this is better.
Just because of the mix in it.
No, it's just because it has a little bit of coarseness to it. It's a nice fiber. And I'm thinking this is, by choice, they like this better.
You look like you're enjoying it. So of course when I say something, Arnie will immediately come along behind me and say something totally different. But we're both kind of right. In general, I'm guessing that if you put a first cut bale beside a second cut bale, the sheep are all going to prefer the second cut bale. But there are a lot of variables in that. Arnie's causing this havoc by chasing the pigeons, so that's why the sheep are running right now. But the other thing that determines whether they like the bale is the coarseness of the bale. So generally, first cut bales are coarser than second cut bales, but it all depends on the weather and the time of year it was cut. The later it was cut for that season, the coarser it will be. Sheep need and like some roughage in their hay. So if your hay is super fine, like some second cut and third cut can be, they may like it, but they won't love it because it doesn't have enough coarseness. And likewise, a lot of first cut is harder to get on the field, so it tends to be a little coarser and it can get too coarse. So in that case, they're not going to like the first cut. So all things being equal, second cut is usually better quality hay, and first cut is generally coarser, but not always. It always depends on when you manage to get it harvested as to how well the sheep will like it. But I know when I first got sheep many moons ago, I didn't know there was a difference between first cut and second cut hay, and I made the mistake of feeding my sheep the first cut hay first. The second cut hay first, and when that was all done, I went to feed the first cut hay, and I thought my sheep were all gonna die because they literally would not eat For I think it was weeks, like, because they were in a pout, they didn't like the first cut hay. So it all depends. Pussycat, how you doing? Here you are again. You're a good pussycat. Yes, you are. Okay, I'm in the ewe lamb barn right now, and the problem today is going to be the wind. The wind is ruthlessly cold and not conducive to having a sheep tour, but right now you can see my hair is stopping to blow a little bit. Arnie's just taken down the curtain on this side. And it immediately makes things 10 degrees warmer. So now they can stand in here without freezing to death. Keep the other curtains open, but the wind's coming from the west today, and it's not pleasant. But right now, no more blowing hair, so we're good to go. The final thing we're gonna do before everybody arrives is to roll out some bedding for these lambs, because we plan on bringing everyone in here, and we don't want mucky feet. So Arnie's just getting some couple of straw bales down for them, and we'll roll that out. And then it's just waiting. We're gonna roll out this bedding. The lambs are excited in anticipation, because you know bedding day is always a favorite. A little bit different than rolling out the straw with Casanova in the group. You don't have to watch your back with the girls. Okay, they got all their bedding. It's pretty clean in here now. People should be able to walk around in here no problem. We've just reconfigured these straw bales, and I plan on climbing up here so I can get a view of everybody. Hopefully everyone will fit in the camera this way. Okay, final check. We got all the Christmas lights on. We got the jugs all cleaned up with some bedding in so they can see what it looks like here when lambs are around. We got the milk house as clean as it possibly can get. And we got our little Christmas llama here to greet them. Now all we need is the people. Okay, we got the tour bus here. We're just waiting for everyone to get off the bus right now. It's getting a little intimidating because most people here speak French, and so we're gonna have to have translators. We're gonna do our best. And it's a little nerve-wracking with this many people. 55 people showed up.
Yeah, because I was worried to forget it.
Oh, we wouldn't let you forget it.
Welcome. So these are all products from our area in the city, so around Droogh. So I wish that you will enjoy it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks to you.
Thanks.
So we're going to put the covers on.
Yeah, sit in the milk house for now, and we'll let everyone get here first.
Allô! Je m'appelle Lynn. Ça, c'est Arnie. Et bienvenue à ewetopiafarms. Et stay tuned for my sponsor.
Bonjour, bonjour. Bienvenue, bienvenue.
Oui, j'en dis graveur,
Is it okay to take pictures?
Yes, absolutely.
OK, il y en a 120, 125 à peu près enceintes en ce moment.
While they're coming in, there's another group coming over at the same time.
Okay.
So I'll explain that a little later.
Yeah, that's good.
So as they lamb at night, we have the barn shut down. And the lamb, as they come in the pens, they're brought into the jugs. So each lamb is brought into a jug down the halls here. They spend 2 days in the jugs. They get trimmed. They get dewormed. The lambs get all recorded. And everything gets done with the ewe. And she gets to be dewormed again. And then from there, she's put in these holding pens right here is the wall that goes across. There's 2 holding pens. You want me to stop with that?
Yeah. OK. Alors, les brebis vont s'en venir. Ils vont passer 2 jours. Ils vont aller dans les box. Ensuite, ils vont être traités. Les agneaux vont être étiquetés. Ils vont être traités, j'imagine. What's this?
C'est quand les vermifuges.
OK, c'est ça. Puis après, ils vont être transférés ici. Il va y avoir comme deux espaces. 2 holes.
Yeah, there's 2 pens here.
2 pens. Il y a deux enclos.
So when they come in these, they have their lambs back there.
OK.
We bring them up here, and he said 2 days is about average. But if singles tend to take, like, single 1 day, twins 2 days, triplets 3 days.
OK. Donc, ils vont agnoler là-bas, puis selon le nombre d'agneaux qu'ils vont avoir, ça va dépendre. C'est une moyenne, là, 2 jours. Donc, s'il y a un agneau, ben, ils vont les transférer plus vite. 2 agneaux, ça va être 2 jours. 3 agneaux, bon, fait que ça va être comme ça qu'ils vont fonctionner. Selon le nombre d'agneaux, ils vont passer du temps dans les casiers, dans les cages, je ne sais plus. Ouais.
How did you water them?
Buckets.
Okay. A lot of works.
Yes, this year, last year we had to carry buckets. This year we got a little smarter, I think. We have one of those hoses, that you can pull out and then it retracts.
Yes.
So we're gonna, instead of carrying pails, we're gonna just bring the hose down and fill it up.
Peux-tu
Oh.
répéter ta question?
Et j'ai demandé en fait comment ils donnaient de l'eau. Parce qu'il n'y a pas de buvette. Fait qu'elle disait que c'était pas simple.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Because yes, it's a lot of work with pails. That's the biggest job for us, pails.
So then, when we have the lambs, we'll talk about when we go to other barns. So the problem we have here is, since we do everything indoors, there's a bonding thing. So each coverall will have 200 lambs with 120 ewes. And there's a problem there, they lose their mothers. So when they come out of these jugs, it's real important for us to get them in these pens to bond 10 sheep at a time. And the lambs learn how to get their mothers before they enter the environment, another barn where they're wide open.
OK. Donc, c'est super important d'amener les agneaux ici parce qu'en fait, sinon, s'ils les envoient de l'autre côté, l'espace est trop grand. Puis les agneaux vont avoir de la misère à trouver leur mère. Donc, avant de les transférer, ils vont vraiment s'assurer que les agneaux sont capables de reconnaître les mamans.
So,
Des groupes de 10 brebis, oui. Merci.
so it's little by little. So mom and baby bond first. 10 moms and their babies next. And then each group that's of 10 that's bonded, they'll stay in here for maybe 5 days.
Okay.
They go to the coverall, and we found a group of 30 ewes and their lambs is ideal for a bonding group. So we'll put a dividing wall after 30 ewes and bring in the next group of 30. And then once they're a month old, we take the wall down, and then they all run together.
They all run together. Donc, elle dit qu'ils vont vraiment étape par étape, là. Puis que les groupes de 10 brebis avec les agneaux, je m'en remets par là-bas, je vais vous parler. Les groupes de 10 brebis, c'est la meilleure façon de faire coller. Quand les agneaux sont prêts, ils arrivent dans une période où les autres producteurs sont en train de faire leurs agnolages. Donc, pour eux autres, il y a un creux de production, ce qui fait qu'ils ont un meilleur prix quand ils arrivent sur le marché avec leurs agneaux. Puis la seule différence, c'est qu'à l'automne, il manque les beaux paysages. C'est juste ça,
And
la
that,
tristesse de plus faire des agneaux à l'automne.
and since you guys are from Grober, I guess we can tell you that our Grober connection. Go ahead.
So, so every lamb that's born in the cold months, it's cold. A lot of times they're rubbed down with a towel. Okay, I know it's a little anal, but we do it. We rub them down a little bit, and each lamb, when they're born, they just colostrum in the powder form from Grover right away, immediately.
OK, donc il donne le lait en poudre immédiatement à la naissance. Le colostrum, pardon. Ouais.
Every lamb.
Now,
If we're here, as long as we're here, every lamb that's born, we tube feed them the first meal. That way, if it's like in the middle of the night, or we used to, try get them on the teat, and we have Suffolks, which aren't the brightest lambs. That sometimes they're slow, and in this temperature, it feels warm. But if you're wet and you haven't eaten and you haven't gotten up for 3 hours, you're going to go downhill pretty quickly. And we found that if we tube fed every lamb, it only takes 30 seconds. We know that they've had that first feeding. They're going to be warm. And the colostrum, instead of, you might think it would fill them up and make them not want to nurse off their mom, but it does the opposite. It actually stimulates them to get going. And we don't have to worry about a slow Suffolk. When we come back 3 hours later, usually the lamb's on the mom nursing, and we never have to touch it again. But in the past, it was always like, did it nurse? Did it nurse? We're not sure, or it's getting cold, or we would try to force them on. And now we're always trying to make things as hands off as possible.
How long have you had that practice of
Tubing, we've been doing that for
well,
not even, no, not,
well,
I'd say 5 years.
you have to understand something. You have to understand something about tubing. When we first mentioned tubing lambs, a lot of people give us slack on the internet because they all thought it was an extra expense. No one wants to pay for it.
Yeah.
But now a lot of people online are following us on tubing lambs.
OK.
Yeah, more people are doing it because it's a very cheap fix.
Il y avait des commentaires négatifs. En fait, les gens étaient très réticents. Puis finalement, là, à force de l'expliquer puis de voir la diminution de la mortalité, les gens commencent à être intéressés de voir leur technique.
We recommend it to all our customers. Even when we had Ritos and stuff who are really quick to get up, again, we can bring the lambs, put them in a jug, and walk away. And yeah, some people say we walk away anyway, but we can walk away with the knowledge that they've been fed. And that colostrum is very, very important. It gets them to that, they thrive after that. So for us, the little expense and the little amount of time is well worth the worry that we had before. And yeah, our losses are less. Qui ont vraiment reçu le colostrum. Pour eux autres, c'est plus bénéfique pour eux autres, ça, que de penser que l'animal va se nourrir par lui-même. Donc, il y a une forme de conscience, de satisfaction. Un bon départ.
So basically, what we do here is I find in this farm here, at 10 o'clock to 2 in the morning, there's really no lambs. For some reason, that seems to be the time they shut down. They ate their meal at 4 or 5 o'clock. They have a nap. Most time we do a 10 o'clock check. Not too much going on. I go to bed until 2 in the morning. And at 2 in the morning, I'll get up and there'll be lambs in the ground.
Okay.
And then we take them immediately in the jugs. At 2 in the morning, I tube them all, go back to bed.
OK. Il fait ça en général à 2 heures le matin. Il se lève. Il est gave, puis après ça, il peut retourner se coucher. S'il vient à 10 heures, il n'y a presque rien, puis à 2 heures du matin, ça se passe.
And what's your lambing rates between your breed?
Lambing ratios?
Yeah, how many lambs per?
So Suffolks are 1.8, and we have no problem hitting that. We probably would hit 1.9.
Yeah, it depends on the year, but it's between 1.8 and 2 with the Suffolks, and Dorsets are lower. Dorsets are.
Suffolk, puis le Dorset, c'est un peu moins.
I'm thinking Dorsets, really, to be fair, are about 1.6.
C'est des kilos. Un nombre d'agneaux.
Yeah, lambs.
Ben, je pensais, mais là, après ça, j'étais plus sûre.
We like that number because we're lambing a whole bunch of sheep all at once, like 150 at a time. Anyone that has a single, we have good luck on fostering any triplets on. So usually when they leave the barn, the 10 ewes with their lambs, fingers crossed, they're all leaving with twins.
OK. So yeah, OK. Donc, ils aiment ça avoir ce nombre d'agneaux-là parce que ils peuvent, comment je pourrais dire, ils peuvent les regrouper. Là. Ils peuvent s'assurer que quand les brebis s'en vont, ils ont pu les rematcher, puis toutes les brebis ont des jumeaux. Donc, s'il y a une brebis qui n'a eu rien qu'un, ben, elle va en materniser un autre. Ils vont s'assurer que tout le monde colle, puis après ça, ils vont les envoyer. Fait que c'est pour ça que c'est bien de ne pas en avoir plus. Pour eux autres, c'est
Because we're old and we don't want to be, and we don't want. You'll know me fine after this. But we don't want to be dealing with lots of bottles.
Ouais, ils veulent pas avoir à délai avec toutes les bouteilles.
And we're not set up for a milk machine really. And we don't have enough bottle babies to warrant a machine. So we're doing bottles, and the least amount of bottles the better for us.
C'est bon, c'est bon.
Okay?
C'est ça. Fait que le moins de brebis à nourrir au biberon, mieux on se porte, on s'installe.
Heavy lambs.
So your lambs are very
I never like to talk about that because it's my mistake. And I find most of the sheep in Canada are being born in the spring on the fresh grass. That's the most common. So that right now, where sheep prices are dropping. There's way too many sheep heading to the processing. Okay, so they can't process. That's why it's dropping. But if you go after Christmas, well, you know, I'm going to talk a lot. You go to Christmas in the market, and you say, God, I missed that Christmas in the market. Just go 2 weeks after Christmas, the market's even higher. There's no more land. And then you go around, we land out in January. They go to the market in
April, May. April.
April, May, June, they go in the market, we're finishing them off, okay? But there's no sheep at the barn. So that's the best price. If price spikes right there, and then it levels out. So we do that. I don't like to talk about that, because I don't want to shoot my own market.
No problem. We come from Quebec, so we're very far.
But yes, Suffolks also have the benefit of being the fastest growing sheep. So they're gaining easily a pound a day.
Un pound a day, OK. Les Suffolk, ils gagnent facilement.
So they're hitting the heavy lamb market in 3 months. And our Dorsets, we cross our Suffolks and our Dorsets. We are breeding for meat and fast growth. That's our focus, and good conformation and breed type. But we're trying to get a cross between the American Suffolk, which is very tall, hard keeper, hard to keep the weight on them, and the British, which are a lot shorter but have the heavy muscling. But we found faults with both the American style and the British, but we find when you mix the two together, you get a fantastic sheep. And we call them Canadian Suffolks, because people would always say, what is it? Is it British? Is it American? And it wasn't either. The ewes are a little higher off the ground than the British. We had a lot of problems with British Suffolk ewes, too low to the ground. Suffolk lambs not too bright. If your legs are short and the Suffolk has to kneel, the lamb, to suck, it was a nightmare the first 2 days trying to make sure they're nursing. So we thought we got to get the legs up. But we don't want them stretching up to mom either. So we got them kind of at the medium. So if we find our ewes are getting too tall, we'll throw British rams on them. And same thing, if they're getting too chunky, a little too meaty, a little too beefy, because they're not as good mums either when they're too beefy, then we'll put a taller, more stylish ram on them. So it's always the constant back and forth. And we get a consistent lamb. You'll see, we'll bring to show you our lambs, but you would think that the crossing back and forth would make them inconsistent, but they're not. They are quite consistent.
Pour ceux qui n'auraient pas compris, là, ils vont faire un mix entre les Suffolk britanniques.
Or crop.
Barley is whole.
We have the mixer behind the tractor, and I crack it a little bit, but the barley goes through whole, but the corn's cracked in half. Because I found the lambs couldn't eat the whole corn. It's too hard for the lambs to eat the whole corn. So the corn is just broken in half. It's a hammer mill.
So we'll
Brise en deux le grain de maïs. There's you wanted to say something?
I was going to say we can take you back and see the sheep now, so you can see some of the sheep. But these are two Dorset groups. At the back, we'll see first. We used to have more Canadian American style Dorsets. We got involved with Australian and New Zealand rams, which are more terminal, muscular, meaty sheep. So there's the two rams are in there. You'll see them. They're still in the breeding groups. One's from Australia on this side. This side is New Zealand breeding.
Alors, il y a un bélier australien à gauche, puis néo-zélandais.
Yes.
Néo-zélandais à droite.
So we'll see it. You can go look at them, and then we got two Suffolk breeding groups in the back of the barn over there.
Dans le fond, là, ça va être les Dorset, puis de l'autre côté, ça va être les Suffolk. So, there was a question here about how much is this per acre here?
The land? Oh, it's actually about 5,000 an acre, 6,000 acre tile land, but climbing fast.
So he had a bit of lice, so we just treated him for lice. And these ewes are due to start lambing middle of December. Arnie actually caught Gladiator and showed him to everybody. And I guess I didn't have the record button on, so we missed that. But I think Gladiator was quite a hit today. There's one cross ewe in here, but all the rest are registered Suffolks.
Shortly we'll be shutting the windows all down, and the barn will actually heat up. And as these ewes are coming in, like every 25, 30, 40 ewes come in, we'll bring over 30 more ewes from the coveralls, will come over here. So these will go over with the babies, and the pregnant ewes will come back. So that we'll,
Fait que la rotation, elle va se faire quand les autres vont agnoler, ils vont s'en aller l'autre bord pour faire le processus qu'on a vu tantôt. Puis de l'autre côté, il y a des nouvelles brebis qui vont s'en venir ici pour se préparer.
And all of our sheep are indoor-outdoor sheep. So for breeding and having their lambs, they're indoors. But when they go to the coveralls, you'll see them. They are free to go outside. And our rams are outside all year round.
Donc toutes les brebis, tous les moutons, en fait, sont prévus pour être autant à l'intérieur qu'à l'extérieur. On va faire les agnolages à l'intérieur. Mais après, ils ont des espaces pour aller à l'extérieur. Puis tous les béliers sont élevés à l'extérieur tout le temps.
And our feedings.
Ah, il y en a 8 des béliers, pas des taureaux.
And for our feeding, we always believe that there should always be hay in the feeder. It should never be empty.
Donc, ils nourrissent à volonté. Ils croient qu'il faudrait qu'il y ait... Ben, en fait, il y a toujours du foin dans la mangeoire.
That way they can act as if they're in the pasture and nibble all day long.
Donc, ils peuvent agir comme s'ils étaient en pâturage puis brouter toute la journée.
We find they don't get bloated and they don't gorge by leaving hay out all the time. And grain he feeds twice a day.
Donc, ils sont nourris 2 fois par jour. Au grain, oui.
And every pen has salt mineral holders. Free choice.
Là, dans les vidéos, j'ai vu que probablement qu'il y a du sel, mais je suis pas sûr.
Is there salt? What
The blue is the salt.
the bleu, c'est le sel.
And mineral is the other one.
C'est en poudre. Celle de en poudre.
There's no solid mineral in the grain mix. It's all has to be manual.
Donc, ils ne mélangent pas les minéraux dans le reste de la nourriture. C'est vraiment juste à volonté ici. Puis ils peuvent choisir ce qu'ils ont besoin.
Very
Yeah, it's not.
Invention, like,
Yes.
you made this because I think it's really bright.
We've got one in the coveralls to show you that he made.
We don't use mineral in the grain mix because it's corroding my mixer. The mineral is corroding the mixer. It's all mixed and all corroded, so we don't use corroding. And the grain is getting lost. I'm a true believer that people wait for the details. Because once I go with the details, the grain is covered.
Using what?
What people don't like about the Suffolks is people think Suffolks eat a lot of food, and they do. Dorsets don't need as much food to produce the same weight. The difference is Dorset lamb will gain about 3/4 of a pound a day of body weight. This lamb will gain easily a pound a day. So that's the difference in the feed. So the Suffolk eats more, but you're going faster in the market. That's a little slower than the market. And that's why if you feed a Dorset a little too hard, you'll get some prolapses. So I learned that.
So we keep the hay full so they can both eat what they need, but the grain will be different. The Suffolks will get a pound morning and night of grain. These guys are a little bit less, maybe half a pound, because they will tend to go fat. And that's what causes prolapse and stuff. And they'll get laminitis too. You'll see them limping if they have too much grain. We've never seen, I think a Suffolk could eat as much as you could give it. But a Dorset will get full. It'll still eat it, but it'll get sick. So we used to keep them together, but we find they do much better if we separate them.
A Dorset, if you feed it too much grain, you'll get laminitis, bad feet. You'll never get a bad foot off a Suffolk. So it's just a different type of sheep. Because when I had bad weather, I would put about 8 pails of grain right here at night, and they got this gate open on me. If these guys ate the 8 pails, never missed a beat. I guarantee you the Dorsets will be laying all upside down. They just can't take it.
So do you change only the quantity but not the ingredients?
That's right. Just the quantity. So the grain right now, they're just getting corn.
Just corn, yeah.
But when they are lambs, they get a creep feed mix that we make ourselves. But we're always checking condition. We like our sheep to be year round in at least a 3. After they're weaned, they're not a 3. They're skin and bones, because people say are Suffolks good mothers? They're extremely good mothers. Mom who has a lamb that grows a pound a day is a good mother. She's producing a lot of milk, so all that condition, she'll go to skin and bones by the time she's done. But because they're good eaters, which some people say is a fault, but I think it's a good thing, she'll get back in her condition real quickly and do the same thing again.
If I'm going to test my feed, how am I going to change that you?
It's not change the hay, but I think you're doing it with the observation. So you have experience, but for a young producer, you don't have the eyes, you don't have the experience, the knowledge. So if you have the analyze, you can tell, okay, I have to
So
increase
the proteins or
through the grain, right? Through the addition of grain. We are trying to keep things simple and cost effective because there's not a big profit margin in sheep. So the more you can do on your own without getting other people involved, the better your profitability will be. And if you are really concerned, if you're feeding your sheep well, check their condition all the time and shear them, because Sheep look beautiful with their wool on, but it hides a lot. So if you're not sure if they're getting enough, shear them off and get them into condition. And if your hay isn't getting them there, or your pastures, you know you got to increase your grain very slowly.
Sorry?
Rain on top of the hay all
Yes.
the time.
And we do.
So they won't blow too easy. They won't gouge out.
So-
They have to fight for the grain a little bit.
So yeah, if the grain you pour it on top of the hay, if you
Yeah, they gotta find
they have it takes them a while because especially Suffolks, if you pour grain out for them and there's no hay, oh yeah, they'll be flopping around on the floor choking because it's a mad dash to see who can get it all. This way it slows them right down. They still get the same amount of grain, but it's the gradual thing. So right now we're still taking people around, but in the coveralls people are pairing off, asking us questions individually. We've been through the breeding group barns and to the rams, and it's freezing cold. We got stormy weather coming in, but we're kind of rounding everyone up to go over see the ewe lambs right now. Eva, of course, has come up for attention. Looney was here earlier. Hi, how you doing? Hi, Nibbles. Hi. Hi, Nibbles. Hi. Come over and see people. Come on. Come see people. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. They're a little nervous when this many people, of course. But we got quite a few little friendlies in here. She's one of them. Hi, sweetheart. But they look right at you. I swear they're so smart.
They really look good. They look really very healthy. Good work.
Oh, this is Hot Lips. Hot Lips, come on. This is Hot Lips.
Yeah.
She's got an overbite. But we're going to keep her. She's so friendly.
Why not? Eh?
Well,
We all have our favorites.
that's right. And she's a sweetheart. Normally, she's like always there. I think we're running out of time now, so we're going to head back to the main barn. I think I think we went over time, but I think that was a good thing. People were interactive. This tour was supposed to last 1 hour, and it went on for 2.5 hours. Everyone's heading back to the bus now. I think it went well. And here are the really nice gifts that they gave us for coming to our farm. They're all products that were made in Quebec from the areas that they came from. And we're looking forward to trying them all. So that was a really long day today, but I think it was successful, eh?
Yep.
So we're gonna thank Pascal and everyone else at Grober who helped make this tour possible, and to thank all the people from Quebec for coming out and visiting us and giving us some really nice gifts. And I gotta mention that this wasn't a sponsored trip. It was they're just doing a tour of some Ontario farms, and they asked to come here. We always use Grober, and we said sure because it's a product we use all the time anyway. So I guess we're gonna call this a night. It's a long video. It's bilingual. That's a bonus. So thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for the next episode at Utopia Farms. Bye for now. Got Arnie covered.
Arnie covered me.